Hi, I'm a mom of two and a half year old and an 8-month-old, both girls. And I'm looking around our new home and trying to figure out what I need to do to make it safe for them. So I have a childproofer coming over today to take a look and let me know where the potential pitfalls are and what we could do to make it safe.
Hi.
Hi, Dave. Welcome.
Welcome, David Sarna with Childproofers.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm nervous about the safety hazards in my home, so I'm looking forward to our day. Do you want to just come take a look downstairs and tell me what you think?
Absolutely. What we'll do is we'll do a walkthrough and I'll point everything out, which will take you from now till about 6 months till about 2.5 years old. So we'll identify any potential hazards that we may see in your environment.
That would be great.
Perfect.
Come on in. I have a few concerns already.
Okay.
One is the knobs on the stove, but I did notice the other day after my daughter had been over here that this knob was turned.
When it comes to ovens, there are two things. One, there are stove knob covers that will go over the knob that we have to first open before the knobs can be turned. Sometimes on these types of ovens they won't fit because of these rings. The other solution sometimes is to just take the knobs off and then just put them on as needed, because typically a child won't have the dexterity to turn the knobs. So if we can't get the plastic covers to fit over the knobs, our second backup would be to just remove the knobs.
Okay.
As far as the doors, there are a couple of adhesive latches that will fit on the side, one on the side. Again, it depends on the particular model, or on the shield up here, which basically will flip down and prevent the doors from being opened. And then additionally in the kitchen, we typically latch all of the kitchen cabinets from the counter level down. We want to make this a safe area so that the child doesn't open any drawers. And sometimes people say, well, and this was a perfect example, there's only towels in here, is it necessary? And the reality is some kids will open the drawers, put their hands, and just run the drawer closed. And if they're in their onesies, sometimes when it's open, they slip on their feet and fall backwards as they pinch their fingers. So that's another reason why it's irrelevant of what's in the drawer, but we should latch all of the kitchen cabinets from counter level down. As we make our way through the kitchen, we'll do all these cabinets, and now we'll have outlets. On electrical outlets, especially the ones that we're using, we like to put what we call a sliding outlet cover on there. And that's because, especially this one is eye level. When Lila's standing up, this will be right at her eye level. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this with a cover that has a sliding door on it. It's spring-loaded, so in the event she would ever pull anything out, the door will just slide closed and she'll have no access for any electrical shocks. Now, a couple of things that most people aren't aware of, which is just good to know, is these vents, and again, this is new construction, so the vents are just sitting in here. Some children will take these out, and it's a big hole, and it's sharp inside here. There's a couple solutions. Sometimes you would drill a hole and secure it down with a screw, or sometimes it's as simple as just putting a piece of Velcro on each side and putting a little Velcro on the floor and just Velcro this down so that the baby can't remove this. Sometimes what they do is they'll put their little fingers in there, and when they pull it up, the actual vent comes up with their fingers. Now, as we go in here, especially with new construction, you'll find that the windows are low, and that's because all of us want this big open space. That's approximately 4 inches, and we don't want a window open any further than that. They make what we call a window stop, and there's different types, but essentially they all perform the same function, which is to limit the travel of the window 4 inches. But they have to be able to overcome them in the event of a fire emergency. The other thing we do is always open windows if we can from the top, again because a child standing up doesn't even realize that the window is open, so we do like to open windows whenever possible from the top along with the window stop, because it will work top and bottom, the window stop.
Let's head upstairs so you can take a look at the bedrooms and the stairway and let me know what we need to do to secure the upstairs.
Sounds great. Let's go. In bedrooms, especially in nurseries, there's a few things. If there's no monitor that's near the crib, which is great. A lot of homes, unfortunately, people will put video monitors and the cord is dangling near the crib, where then a child can pull the cord into the crib and teeth on it and bite on the wire and get electrocuted. So we definitely want to make sure there's nothing near the crib, there's no toys in the crib, which is great. Furniture, we have to be real careful about. In the baby's room, especially on the baby furniture, we should probably latch all the drawers, and the reason is, and these drawers we have already done. The reason is because as children get bigger, they'll open all the drawers at once, and as they start to open and pull, the unit becomes front heavy from the drawers being open, and the dresser can tip down. So initially, we have some latches on the cabinets so that the baby can't open the drawer. At a later point, when the baby is transitioned into a bed and the parent wants the child to have access to the drawers, we will then bolt this to the wall and anchor it and secure it so that it won't tip down on the child.
And I'm wondering, once she has the ability to get out and walk through the upstairs, should I be gating the door, or should she have free reign of the upstairs, and how do you approach that?
Typically when a child goes into a bed, it's not a bad idea to put a gate, and at that point standard gates are about 30 inches in height. They do now they've come out with a 40-inch gate, which is great when you're transitioning a child into a bed, because this way they don't have access to A, wake up other children in the house, or B, be able to walk down a hall and have access to bathrooms or areas where they shouldn't. So it's not a bad idea at all to put a gate in front of a door as you do the transition to a bed.
I wanted you to come see the bathroom that the girls use so they could let me know any potential hazards as well.
Never ever leave a child unsupervised near a bathtub. A couple of things with tubs. One is we don't want the water temperature over 120 degrees. So it's a great idea to run the hot water straight, fill up the tub, and then put a thermometer in here and check it. If it needs adjustment, typically on your hot water heater, there's a red dial which will go hot and colder, and you want to kick that back to 120 degrees. When a child is out of seat and is in the tub, it's very important to put what's called a spout cover over this, because children have a tendency to play, they love water, and they hit their head on here. So it's a cuteness factor with different shapes and different animals, but we put a spout cover over this so when they're playing they don't get hit. This is a good example of a lock. So now a baby could potentially come in here and lock themselves. It's very important that parents, sitters, grandparents know how to pick these locks in the event a baby ever locked themselves. And as this house has, there are keys on the top, and these keys are used to pick the locks from the front in the event someone accidentally locked themselves in.
I wanted to show you the mudroom, just to see if there was anything in this area. We don't spend a lot of time here, obviously, because we just kind of enter and exit, but if there's anything that I need to do here.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things. A great reminder for parents, grandparents, and caregivers is do not leave bags, pocketbooks on the floor. Kids have a tendency to go in there, you'll hear them very quiet, and they're going into the bottom of the bag, and things that have fallen out, whether it's loose change, pen caps, aspirins at the bottom, kids will take and put in their mouth. As a reminder, we want to put all bags up as soon as we walk in the house. Secondly, if we have other children, especially teenage children, they'll have a lot of things in their pockets, whether it's change and keys and all kinds of chokeable little pieces from school, pens and things of that nature. So if we do have any older kids, you just want to instill in them that they empty their pockets and not leave loose things laying around.
Well, I'd love to get ourselves settled before we have an incident, so
Absolutely. Sounds good. We'll get working right away on this.
okay.